What is up, YouTube? It's me, HPJ here. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Harpie Ladies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. My Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel deck for the Harpie Ladies is live. Now, here's the thing, because I know a lot of people are going to ask me, did he get Raffinato? I did not get Raffinato. I haven't even gotten, what was that one card? Uh, Hysteric Eyes is really expensive right now. That's why I'm also not running to go get that. And I'm just really sticking to what I can afford and what I'm able to get at this moment, which is currently what's here. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're still going to keep going with this Harpie Lady Rush Duel deck. Because even though Harpie Lady 1, 2, and 3 are banned, we did get Harpie Lady 1 and 2 back, which is great. And we still have two options of things we can run in this deck. We have the Harpie Ladies and Sisters in their maximum mode, and we have Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty. So thank you, Structure Deck, for not only reprinting these baddies, but also being able to give us two various options for boss monsters that we can utilize in Rush Duel, and still have a lot of other things we can utilize in Rush Duel as well, because Rush Duel, I think, has given the most productivity in terms of Harpies in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, like at all. And I want to say this is probably the most productive lineup of things we've had since maybe, God, since 2013. And I'm not saying 2019 wasn't bad, but it was just like that was all over the place, and definitely could be, a lot more. So, it kind of is where it is. But all right, let's go ahead. Let's go into this lineup because I am so ready to go through this deck profile. And I know I've already wasted like almost 2 minutes on this too. So let's start off with the monsters. We're now starting off with 3 copies of Harpie Lady, the vanilla monster. Then we have 3 copies of Harpie Lady 1, and then 2 copies of Harpie Lady 2, and 1 copy of Harpie Lady Pet Master. Next up is the Harpie Lady Sisters, and I'm running the 3 that form the maximum mode. Then the 2 that are for Harpie Lady L, and the 2 for Harpie Lady R. So, duh. Of course, so we have this Harpie lineup. Next up is the other Harpies that are in the deck. I have 2 copies of Harpie Regina, 2 copies of Harpie Salo, 2 copies of Harpie Sonora, 2 copies of Harpie Kara. Then that rounds out the monsters. No Legends monsters, which would have been nice, but Prisma is still expensive. What is it? Card Troopers going up, which is, of course, not surprising. And then there is one other Legends monster I could easily run in this deck, but I didn't feel like running the Legends monster. So I was just like, alright, let's just cut those out for right now. Then let's go into the spell cards. We got 3 copies of Harpie's Electro Dress, 2 copies of Triangle Ecstasy Spark, 2 copies of Avian Spell Tactics, 2 copies of Excel World, as it's called. I think it's called Algio's World, based off of the duelist that uses it, because he's in the artwork of it. I think that's Yago, and then that's Harpie Lady and Cyber Falcon. And then for my Legend spell, I am running Graceful Charity. Then for my trap cards, because I can easily fit them on here too, I'm running 3 copies of Splendid Slash, 2 copies of Harpie's Feather Tempest, and 1 copy of Compulsory Evacuation Device, which is my Legends card. Alright, that is it for the main deck. That is a total of 40 cards in total. We're going to go into the extra deck. We got 3 copies of Harpie Lady Sisters Triangle Beauty, 3 copies of Harpie Lady Feather Duster, 3 copies of Harpie Lady 2 and 3, 2 copies of Harpie Salo in her light skirt, 2 copies of Harpie Regina in her splendid armor, and 2 copies of Harpie Kara in her charming dress. And that's literally it. That is all of the Harpie cards that I'm using and utilizing. I pretty much, like I said earlier in the video, this deck is focusing on its 2 major boss monsters. It's focusing on the Harpie Ladies Triangle Beauty, and it's focusing on Harpie Ladies sisters when they're in their maximum mode. Now, individually, they're still not bad monsters, but in that maximum mode, I think is where we get the full scape of what this deck can ultimately do. I think, honestly and truthfully, it is still one of my best builds of Harpies for right now, because I'm utilizing a lot for this deck. I really am. Let's just get through the aces here. This is what of the two. These are the two boss monsters that we're going to try to get to. We get to them by literally trying to set up to get thin out the deck so you can get into the Harpies as soon as possible. One of the bigger ones that I enjoy playing in this deck now is both Harpie Salo and Harpie Sonora. So, Sonora's effect is to send 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard to then draw you 1 card if any of them are Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters. Now, what that tells is that you'll fill up your graveyard for Harpie Ladies Sisters middle or M, because that way she can send them back into the deck. You'll gain any of your win monsters will gain 500 attack, and in the maximum mode will burn your opponent for 500. Harpie Salo over here, she's gonna send your cards to the graveyard to then fetch for Harpie's Feather Tempest. Now, even if you're sequentially not running the Tempest, the thing is that she's going to fill up the graveyard, and that in total itself will help you for your fusion summon, because then you'll fuse these two, or you'll fuse the combination of, and you'll go into your Harpie Salo and her light skirt. Now, what she's going to do is she's going to fetch back 2 of your Harpie Lady Sisters, meaning that you can even retrieve the fusion monster or any of your combination here, so that way you can go into your maximum mode or into your summon, into your fusion summon, which then in parts itself helps out the deck tremendously. I am telling you, legitimately, I am still excited about how this is all pairing out. You still have your other options of support cards. You still have your cards like Harpie Regina. You still have Harpie Kara. Kara to go help get your charming dress, while Regina helps you discard a card and draw a card where you have a Winged Beast, and even more so, if you have that normal monster, you can go get back one of your Harpie Lady or Sisters, which is great too. So that way you can easily replenish your hand and set up for your maximum mode there too. It's just so many different things you can do. Now, one thing I know a lot of people are going to ask me is, where's Harpie Lady 3? Why is she not in the deck? And I think because now we have Harpie Lady 2 and 1 back. Those are the Harpie Ladies that I'm going to be focusing on. It is not saying that you can't focus on Harpie Lady 3, because she does make a really good monster with Harpie Lady 3 and 1. But I kind of just was like, you know what, I am focusing more on the Harpie Lady Sisters now. So I kind of want to focus the deck on more of the monsters that are going to be congruent to her. Well, to them. And even more so when I go into Harpie Ladies Triangle Beauty, I have a monster that has immunities to things. Not only that, but a 3400 beat stick, which then even at that point gets powered up by Harpie Lady 1, so she can become a 4,000 beat stick monster, ramming in for damage, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then equipping them with that electro dress so they can do piercing damage. So there's a lot of things that easily can be done with this. That's why I'm still heavily focusing on it. And once I get Raffinato, then Raffinato will be another additional piece I can play in this deck, because then she's going to power up those monsters as well. So it's really just a lot of things that can easily be built with this deck. And once I get more of the pieces, I can easily form more things out of it. So it's just going to take a bit of time getting the money together, and then if anything, I'll probably just buy the Raffinatos on their own, and then I'll wait to buy all the other spells and traps that I want to build for this deck itself. Some of them are very expensive, so I'm going to wait till at least a reprint or a drop in price, but that will only take time because Hysteric Eyes is not going to drop in price any soon. But there are other options for it that I can easily get the hands on as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's going to be it for right now for this Rush Duel deck. I will get back to you guys on a deck profile maybe sometime soon, because there is one deck that I'm currently working on, but it has a lot of issues with its own pieces. But that's for another time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am hungry, and it is like a little earlier for lunchtime, so I'm probably gonna make me something to eat. I really do appreciate you guys coming to watch. I really do. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel because it helps me out tremendously. Hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content to the channel. My socials are in the description box below. And I'll catch you guys next time. HPJ signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.